Hello, welcome. Sorry there was no text this morning. It's way too early to be texting anybody. So I didn't send out a text this morning. I don't expect as many people in a morning live, but I have company coming in this afternoon, so I wanted to do this before I join them. Hello, I'm so glad you're all here. Thank you, thank you. From the air. Oh, hi, Diana. Yes, okay, so good morning. I am squeezing this in the morning. Hi, Dana. I'll see you soon. I'm squeezing this in the morning because there's a new release that is so fun. I've been waiting to use this for some time now. And Meredith, welcome. I've been wanting to use this for some time now because they sent it to me a bit ago. And I knew that I had to figure out a way to go live. There was just no question about it. I will probably use more of it in a future video, probably a pre-recorded video, because one of the products isn't here yet. The one that I wanted to use the most isn't here, but I'll show it to you. It's supposed to be delivered. It was supposed to be delivered by 11. Now it's saying by noon. So if it comes, I'm gonna incorporate it too. But I always talk about how in my lives, I really try to use some new products, some old products, and also, techniques that you can use with a variety of products. So today is newer products. However, it's techniques that can be done with a lot of different products. Oh, and the other thing, what I was trying to think of before, the other thing I promise about doing in my lives is doing a variety. I don't want all of my cards to look the same, and today's theme is very different. Yeah, welcome. Hi, Linda. Hi, Brianne. Brianne is here. Brianne is my link ninja. She's here to help answer questions. She's one of the greatest humans in the whole wide world. So I will be using Altnew today. They have a new release that has a few different things in it, but the core of it is sea or ocean kind of theme. Right up my alley. And there's a good variety in it, very good variety. It's pretty impressive. I think it's a fantastic release. So when I told Altenew that I'd be going live today, they said that I could do an exclusive offer for you all. And this is a good one. I'm going to show you the product here in a couple minutes. But first, Mike, can you put up the 50% off offer?
Yeah. I was just answering somebody here.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There we
go. So today and tomorrow, you can use my code for 50% off storage pockets. These are the storage pockets that I keep like my kits and product bundles in. I've recently started doing this. I've been doing it for a few months now, and I'm going back to like older bundles and moving them into these. They're fantastic. So if you get kits from anyone or bundles, kits or bundles, anything like that, I put them in these sleeves. I'll show them to you in a few minutes. And I do this with all companies. So like my Hero Arts, my monthly heroes, I put into one of these. After I complete a class, like the Spellbinders class I did this weekend, I'll put all the product in one of these. So I know that they're all safe together. So 50% off, they've never done this on these pockets, and I think it's a great deal. The information and the link to them is in the YouTube description below under special offers. Now, before I show you the pockets and how I use them, Mike, can you put up one of the other images about other things going on at Altenew right now? Right now, they're offering free shipping on orders of $49 or more in the US. So that's a great shipping offer. Fantastic. And that's for any order, and you don't need a code for that. And also, just keep in mind, if you are placing an order, that they have discounts on a sale on a bunch of products right now. And you can see some of them listed in my supply list below. I have under the special offer, man, this is hard in the morning. Under the special offers, I have a link to the whole category that's up to 45% off. But in the supply list below, you'll see it'll say like 20% off in front of some products or 30% off in front of some products. Those are some that I'll be using today that happen to be on sale. And notice the acrylic markers are on sale there too. Some of their inks are. It's worth looking at. All right, is that it?
Class.
Oh, the biggest thing of all, I forgot. Cozy Comfort. The signups have started for Cozy Comfort Virtual Retreat. And this is, Altenew does a class in the spring and a class in the fall. And the one in the spring just happened and it was fantastic. There were some really cool cards. Now they have signups for the fall event. It's called Cozy Comfort. I'm one of the teachers in that event. And you can see kind of a sneak peek of the feel of the fall kind of flowers in the corner there, but it's not all florals. Right now you can save $65 if you use my code, all right? And this is one of those where you get all the products for it, and they also have optional cardstock and ink bundles if you want to use the exact same colors the teacher uses, but you can always just use the inks and cardstock that you have. Altenew does a very good job with their virtual events. I highly recommend them. I'm going to have Mike, I didn't grab them, but Mike, can you go to the Cozy Comfort page and grab some of the images like of the other teachers and all that, and we'll share them in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Cozy Comfort is a great event. I do it every year, and I'm really excited about it. It is one of those events also that you can take the classes later. So if you're not available or if you want to refer back to them, you can always refer back to them. So this discount code is only for a short time and it's huge savings. And that information is in the YouTube description below under special offers. You just click the link about the Cozy Comfort and it'll take you to all the information that you could possibly want. Yes, many people are saying they've done Cozy Comforts and always like them. So that's good. Good, good, good. Now, while Mike gets some of the more images from Cozy Comfort, because I wanted you to see who some of the other teachers are, I'm going to show you the storage pockets, all right? Good. Yeah, it's a very professional, well-done event. Laura said she just did the spring event, and in capital letters, it was outstanding. Yeah. Hey, Miriam. Okay, so these are the storage pockets that are on sale. They are, I think, 7.5 by almost 11 inches. And what I like about them is they're very durable. Like these will not tear. I saw Brienne say earlier that these are really good quality. And what I do is I can put all of the products in a bundle together. So like here I have an embossing folder, stencils, die, stamps, and I even keep the packaging. And instead of having to do packaging for each and they get separated, I keep it all into a storage pocket and I label it at the top. So this is what I've been doing now for my, for any kind of bundles or kits I have. Now I've been doing it for a while with my Altenew stuff, just kind of testing it out. I always test things out before I share them in a video or live. So I've been doing this for a while with my Altnew, and now I'm doing it like with, as I said, Hero Arts, just products that go together, that really go together. Like for Spellbinders, I took all the pasta products and I put them together. Like I don't know, that way I can easily find different things I can mix and match, right? So this is these are the storage pockets that are 50% off right now with my code. They're very good quality. Now, somebody asked, is this what I keep my felt in? You know what? I started doing, what I have my felt in is a bigger one. And I regret that because it's way too big for the felt. I have the bigger size that holds full sheet of cardstock. If I could do it again, which I don't want to reinvest in all the pockets, I would switch to this size for the felt. It is a great system. Oh, somebody said they punched holes on the side and put them in a binder. Thank you, BK Chester. That's a great idea.
It had big brain in it.
That's big brain in it, as Mike would say. Big brain in it. Yeah, they're really high quality. You can see like see how they're reinforced on the edge. Let me see. There you go. And then there is a wrong side. There is a flap here Let me take all this out so you can see the flap. Can you see the flap? And it tucks into the little slit, so nothing's gonna come out unless you want it to. Yeah, good, good. So those are 50% off. Very generous offer, and I'm excited about it. And another thing that I use these for is like if I'm doing a bunch of mass production of something, like if I need to die cut, you know, like if I'm taking some stamps, or sorry, some dies, some like craft-a-flower dies, and I want them to all stay together, like all the pieces I'm cutting and so on, you can use those, and then you won't lose any of the bits and pieces. All right. Oh, Brianne, I'm not rebuying. You don't have to either. Sorry, my camera's a little wonky. How many in a package? Mike, does it say how many are in a package? I'm sure it says it. Let me see if I can find it.
20 pieces per set.
20?
With the one you have linked.
Okay, 20 envelopes in a pack. 20 envelopes in a pack. Yeah, Julie, here's the thing. Marie says she uses a side. You know, I think both sizes have their perks. I have some colors I have a lot of felt of, so having the bigger is better. Another thing you can do if you have the bigger one is put 2 colors in one envelope, like maybe 2 shades of pink that are close, and put both labels. Yes, yes, yes. There is a version with 20 and the other with 10. I believe the one with the 20, the one that I link, yeah, the one that I link is the one that's half off.
The 20.
The one with 20 storage pockets in it. They're like 7.5 by 10 3/4. All the information on that is in the special offer description below, in the description below. All right. Hi, Betsy. I'll see you soon. And Leanne, I'll see you soon. Okay, let's play. I have 3 cards prepped. I have 2 that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and 1 that's 5 by 7. One that, and they each kind of lead into the other. I am going through a phase where I like kind of fun folds that flatten nicely to go in an envelope, and that can be used in many different ways. All right. So what I'm doing is these are, I don't know, there's different names for them. I've called them different things over the years. Inside shadow box or inside tunnel card. I'm not really sure. Maybe you guys can help me name them as we go. But I have done videos. One of my videos is like 7 years ago, and the other one was before that. So these are really old videos, but I do have 2 videos linked in my supply list below with more ideas on what I'm doing today. So if you want to see some variety so that you can better apply the products you have to these techniques, those are linked below in the YouTube description. All right. Mike, do you have any more images for Cozy Comfort before I get started?
Yeah, I got one.
One more image. Okay.
Keep moving.
Where is it?
There we go.
Okay. Here are the teachers for the Cozy Comfort event in the fall. There's Kathy, Lydia, Emily, Carissa, Dawn, and Iram. Now, these are all fantastic card makers, all with a very different style, so you're going to get a good variety with these. So I'm excited. One of the things I like about what Altenew does with these virtual retreats is they ask the teachers for input on the products that they develop, so that, you know, the teachers are kind of vested in it. You know, they feel inspired by it, and I really appreciate that. Miriam is in the chat, and she's one of the people who helps design over at Altenew, and they do a great job, as you all know. All right, and the other thing is in there, in the event box will be a variety of products that have different looks, right? But can be used together. So you could use them together for one look or separately for very different looks, which is really exciting. Okay, all right. I'm going to start showing you, I'm going to start by showing you a bunch of the products, and then we're going to get in and create. I'm just going to show you how they all go together well. I don't have them all here, but I'm going to I don't have them all here, but I have most of them. Let me see if my package has been delivered yet. Mike, I'm going to give you a link to the package, and you can let me know when.
I'll go up and check. I got some.
No, it's not here. So, okay.
I'm going up. I'll be right back.
Like I said, most of their products right now are this undersea or like ocean theme, but there's one that's not that I really like, and it is the Forget Me Not layering die set. All right, so there's lots of dies here, and a keyhole system. I'm going to be using this for my second card. So my first and third cards are ocean. The second card will be with the Forget Me Nots. All right, just to show you that the technique that I'm doing is really versatile. All right, so the nice thing about the Altenew keyhole system is at the center of each of the layers is a shape, and you line the shape up. So you cut one of these that's like got the A in the middle. Then you cut these, and the one with the A in the middle you glue together, lining up the A. Then there's this center, and then there's this center. Then you can also, if you want to do it exactly like on the packaging, you can put it onto the keyhole on the stems. Now, I didn't follow that precisely. I've just made a bunch of individual flowers, and I'm going to go with my own thing. But you can make this giant arrangement, and this is actual size. It makes this giant floral arrangement however you want. All right, but inside is the instructions on how to do it exactly like the front. And you can see this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card panel. So you could just take a little bit of it. You can change it up however you want. So I'm not sure how I'm going to use it yet. Well, like what kind of cluster I will do. But I do have this planned. I even have all my little flowers created for the second card. Okay, so that is the Forget Me Not layering die set. Now, the rest of what I've got here is from like the ocean kind of theme thing. And the first one is the Undersea Jamboree. There are 3 stencils, but you could use them separately. Like this one does bubbles. This one just does the fish. And this one does like the sea life, the seaweed and such. So you could use them together or separately. And I use this on our first card. So you're going to see it in action in just a moment, but you create little scenes like that.
Do you have images that they had sent? Card examples?
Oh, I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I will share that last. Remind me, please. So I'll be using these stencils on the first card. So I'm going to set this over here so I don't misplace it. Here's another stencil that I might use on my third card, possibly. It's the Flourishing Coral, and it creates a pattern like this, which I don't think it needs to go with ocean theme. You could use it for anything. I think it'd be beautiful, like with a gold shimmer relief paste over it on a colored cardstock. Gorgeous. All right, then there is this tiny little coral arch die set. I'm not using this today, but it would work really well for the technique we're doing on the inside. There is the coral arch window and then some little fish. All right, there's that. Then this isn't really as ocean, but it's water themed. It's the Lilypad Dreams. There's an embossing folder, and then there are stencils, and you can use them together or separately, and it creates a beautiful lily pad scene. It's just gorgeous. And these stencils line up to color this. All right. So you can buy these together separately. That's Lily Pad Dreams. I'm not using this today, but I might in a future video. Then they have the pond lilies, which I'm buying a second set of because I like these flowers. And I think these layered flowers would be great without the lily pads. Like you could just use these as flowers, and I plan to cover the front of a card with lots of flowers. This is a keyhole system, so you can see how the different layers go together to create the flowers. So there are, it's marked. So it's marked here. This is the triangle shaped dies. These are the triangle shaped dies, so I know these will layer together if I line up the hole in the middle. Then these are the L shape. They have a little L hole, and they line those up too, and then the lily pads. All right, so that is the pond lilies, and I hope to use that soon because I really like those flowers. I just ran out of time. Okay, this is cool, not using this today either, but I was blown away when I saw it. This is Whispering Waves. It is like an ocean coming into the sand. Look at that beautiful, realistic texture. And it does do that. If you look over on their website, you'll see some products made, or some cards made with this. I just didn't have time to use everything. So this is Whispering Waves embossing fluid. I think you're gonna see a lot with this. It's just gorgeous. All right. And this one, what I would do is just kind of softly ink this blue, kind of going into a sand and put a sentiment there. Very simple. All right. Next up, let's just go in the order I have them here. This is a new One Go solid sentiment banners. You know that if you've seen my videos, you know I like their One Go products because, oh, they're there. The One Go products because you either stamp all of these at once, it's one big sentiment, and then there's one big better press plate, and so you could either do either of them, and then one die cuts them all out. All right, so that way you can get a ton of sentiments in one pass. And what's nice about this is there are some that are ocean. They're sending oceans of love and deeply grateful for you, but the rest of them can be with anything. You're in my thoughts, just wanted to say hello and sending you a big hug. Yeah, I just like to go through the products at the beginning so that I can get to creating afterwards. All right, but trust me, what I've got going on today, you could do with a variety of things. Then there's the Ocean Window die set. I'll be using this on my third card. It's great for kind of doing a tunnel effect. Okay, I really think this is cool. And this will be, I'm gonna actually use this on a 5x7 card. Then the Zero Waste Beneath the Blue. If you've watched my videos before, you know I love the Zero Waste because it cuts a big background. And when you do that, you can use the negative space or the die cut, and the die cuts that pops out to create a little arrangement like this. So you can see that's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, a little bit bigger than that. So you get a big jellyfish out of it, you get some seaweed and coral, and then there are some rocks, all right, and bubbles. So you can always use the negative space or create little scenes with it. Do I find the stamp or press plates works better with the solid black background? I prefer the press plates for that. I'll be using them later so I can talk about that a bit. All right, next is the Graceful Seahorse. This has a layering die set. I'll be using this on my my last card. So it is a bundle with the layering seahorse and then a stamp set that has some seaweed. See you later, sending an ocean of thanks, and you can see how they work well together. So you can do like a little stamped seaweed and some die cut seaweed with the cute little seahorse. The seahorse is what I was most excited to use. So that's a Grateful Seahorse. And then I think everything else is older product that I'm going to incorporate. All right, there is one product that didn't show up and I'm waiting for it to be delivered. If it gets delivered in time, I'll incorporate it, but it's what I had planned this whole live around and it didn't show up. So Mike, can you show the product bundle? Are you able? Did I give you that?
You didn't give me any images.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. That was smart of me. It is, let me see. It is called, I didn't give it to you? The Coral Reef? Oh. Yeah, because I didn't send it to you. I forgot to send you all my images. I'll put it in the share folder right now. It should be in there. I'm going to show you the Coral Reef Wonders bundle that I'm missing in a moment. Mike's getting the images now. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, I'm hoping it arrives on time too, Rachel. Okay, let's get started with the first card. We are making like inside shadow box cards. So I have it all prepped and so that I could save some time and really focus on how this card comes together. My first card will be kind of like a unique inside shadow, or I'm sorry, a simple inside shadow box. My second card will be stepped up a little bit. And then the third card will be 5x7. So you'll have lots of options to choose from. But remember, I have done 2 videos on these type of cards like 7 years ago, And those videos are linked in the supply list in the description below. All right, so let's get started. First up, I'm using the, oh, I put it here, remembering. I'm using the Undersea Jamboree. Okay, so this is the 3 layering stencil set that you can use in different ways. There are a lot of examples on their website that are fantastic with this. Some are colorful, but remember you can use them all separately or together. So I did these already because I wanted to use pastes, and pastes take a long time to use. So I will show you the process, but then I have them completed. Okay, I prepped those to complete them. So let me just do one example background, okay? Just so you can see what I did, but that way this piece I do, I will set aside to dry. All right, so I'm starting with the first stencil. I mean, you could do this a million different ways, but I'm starting with stencil number 1. We'll put that down. And I think, let's see, what colors was it? I want to make sure I'm using the right ones. Yes, I will be using some greens. This collection of green ink from Altenew is actually on sale right now. This is the Tropical Forest bundle. This bundle is 20% off. And then let me make sure I get the right ones. I just don't want to grab the wrong set. And then this bundle is 35% off. Okay, this is the Aqua Island. So I'm going to use these for my foliage on here because, you know, when inks go on sale, it's always good to consider. All right, so I have my ink stand, and let's get inking. I will start with Bamboo, which is, I've used this color many times in videos. And let's start by inking this up. I'm just going to kind of mix things up, going a little bit lighter towards the top. You could do a variety of different shades of green ink here, which is what I did on some of my samples, which I'll show you. But here I'm just going to do Bamboo around the top area. Are there questions, Mike?
Yeah, I'm getting those images.
Yeah, there are 3 ink bundles that are on sale, and I listed them in my YouTube description below, so you can find them. 1 is 35% off, and 2 are 20% off. So it's a good time to try it if you're interested in trying it. Can you buy one and go dies without the press plate? Yes. The sentiments that I showed you earlier, there was a press plate, a die set, and a stamp set. You can buy those all separately or in a bundle. So if you prefer the stamps, you can just get the stamps. If you prefer the press plate, you can just get that, or if you want all 3, there is a bundle. And my guess is they will be having more stamps and press plates that go with the die in the future, because that's what they did in the past. Okay, so that was Olive. I skipped the Parrot because I don't know, I just wanted to use 3 colors. So Moss is the darkest, and I'll put that along the bottom here. Oh, what else? Join late. Do the pockets fit in the fridge bins? They fit in the wide fridge bin because I have some in here. But you'll just have to measure which fridge bin you have. The pockets are like 7.5 inches wide.
I have those images. Do you want me to show you?
Oh, for what? Oh, no, not yet.
Okay.
I will go back and show you the Coral Reef bundle here in a moment. Hopefully it shows up. Do I have the product in there? The actual product itself, Mike? Was the image of the product in
you have the image of the bundle.
Yes, that's all I need. Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to show it?
Not now. No, just keep it there. I'm doing very fast blending. I should do better, but again, this is just to demo what I did. Okay, so this is, those are using the greens that are on sale, but just for a little variety, I'm gonna put a little blue here and there on top, just to add some interest. I don't know, why not? So I'm gonna come in with Pool and put a little bit of that on top here and there on that background. So I'll put some Pool over here. So it just brings like a little blue shading, blue coloring in. I don't know. We'll put it in different places. Just, you could instead have done different shades of green, but I feel like just adding a little bit, I could go some darker colors. I'll do some darker in a moment. Just a little bit of Pool here and there. I get stuck in a rut of always doing the same. Let's add some Teal Tempest at the bottom, overlapping some of this. Yeah, there we go. So see how that makes it darker? Okay. Okay, so now we have our seaweed. And you could always do little die cut fish in here or something if you wanted to, but there's the first one. I mean, it would be beautiful as is too. Now for the fish. The nice thing is there's etching on these, so you can figure out how to line it up. So there's like an etched seaweed that lines up with what you've already inked. So I'm just lining that up. Hold on, my head's gonna get in the way. But you'll also see that your fish don't overlap with inking that you've already done. All right, so I've lined that one up. Let's bring in some other colors. Oh, good. This bundle is also on sale. This is the other one that's on sale. And I had planned to use this one anyway. So this is the Deep Blue Sea collection, and this is 20% off. Let's do some turquoise. By the way, I didn't say, the color of cardstock that I started with here is, instead of white, I wanted it to have a little blue tone to it, so I did Dewdrops. It's kind of a pool color. It's my most used Altenew color. So all of these blues and greens will look really nice inked over it. So I'm doing some turquoise right now over some of the fishy images. All right. Were there more questions, Mike? So there's some turquoise. Yeah. What else? Oh. These are felt pads. Yep, these are felt pads. I use these inks quite a bit for a few reasons. I find that the ink is a little bit juicier. It's thicker and juicier than other ink pads. I feel like it's like a thicker ink. And I find that it stamps really well and it blends really well. So I use it quite a bit in videos. They also have their inks in collections of like 4. So light, medium, dark, and extra dark, but you don't have to do it that way. You could, by all means, just buy individual inks. Let's see here. I'm gonna do Teal Tempest on those little corals down there. I don't know why. They're great inks. I also like that the cap twists on, so if you drop it, the cap doesn't fall off because I drop my inks constantly. So I just love these inks. Beautiful, beautiful colors. They have tons of colors. So this is what we have so far. Gosh, that's pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Does anything ever slide under my glass mat? Yep, every once in a while I pick it up and I clean underneath it. Little pieces of paper get under there. If you have questions for Altenew, be sure to tag them. They're here. I don't know shipping questions and all that. I have no idea. Okay, last stencil. Now this one has little impression or little etching on it that you line up with the fish. And let's see here. I will put, you know what? There's a few different things. I'm going to show you 2 different versions that I did. All right. I did 2 different versions. On one of them, on this one here, I put a soft pool ink over this stencil. Then I came in with the Altenew Iridescent Glitter Relief Paste and put that on top of the soft pool ink so that I could have glittery bubbles. See my glittery bubbles? The reason I put pool ink down first is because the reason I put the pool down first is so that there would be a little color behind this clear iridescent glitter paste. So in this one I have sparkly bubbles, all right? Then on the other one, I used the Sea Barrel Shimmer Relief Paste. Now these are not glitter, they're shimmery. It's a shimmer, not a glitter. It's just gorgeous. And Shimmer Relief Paste come in a lot of different colors. I've used them in videos a lot here. The consistency is really easy to use. Where did my little, here it is. I'll put a little dab out so you can see. The consistency is fantastic. Let me get a scrap here.
I think don't they have the $49 free shipping?
Yeah,
in the
there's
US?
if you spend $49, you get free shipping in the US. So you can see it goes on very smooth. I love these. And I'm excited to finally use this color, okay? So for this one, let me clean this up. So for this example here, instead of the iridescent glitter relief paste, I used this shimmer relief paste in the Sea Barrel. And look it's like a silvery bluish shine. See it? So on this one on the left, I used the clear glitter relief paste for the bubbles. Here I use the shimmer relief paste that has some color to it. So it's just two different versions. All right. I think for my card, in this one I started with the darker color. This is Sea Glass cardstock. So this one, the background is dewdrops. This is Sea Glass. On this one, I did the glittery bubbles, and on this one, I did the shimmer relief bubbles. I think for today, I'm going to use the ones where I did the glitter on it. All right, just to, because I have to choose one. Now, so I did that over this stencil. I'm not going to do the relief, well, I can put the relief paste down. Hang on. So this is what I did. If you want to use the shimmer relief paste in the blue color, you would just not bother inking here. You would just apply it. And that's what gives you this. I'm not going to use that example today because I actually like the glitter bubbles better. So I'm doing just a quick amount of pool ink over the bubble stencil. Okay. Yeah, I can put eyes on the fish, no problem. And then this is the shimmer relief, or the iridescent relief paste. Come on, brother. What you doing here? There we go. Okay. So you just take some of the relief paste. And let me show you. This is it's like kind of mayonnaise consistency. It's not super thick. So it's actually easier to spread than other glitter pastes I've had. It's like maybe like a whipped butter, maybe is a better description. But you just apply it with a knife. Hey, Mike, don't go far because I'm going to need you to clean the stencil for me, please. I put the rest back in. All right, Mike, if you take this into the sink and use the the spray on it, that'll come off. Okay, so now that gives you that shimmery, glittery bubbles. Yes. All right, so okay. All right, so that's how I made my panels, all right? But I've already got them made and dry. Let me just clean up a little bit. But you could use really any paste that you like here. If you have like a sparkle embossing powder, you could instead use embossing ink over the stencil and put on the glittery embossing powder. I will say on these others that I'm not using, I also, when it was dry, oh, I did get some on here. When it was dry, let me get this off the edge. Once this was, the bubbles were dry, I put the fish stencil back on where I had already inked the fish. And then over the fish stencil, I put the new Crystal 3D gel from Altenew, and it made all my fish shiny. All right, so that's the Crystal 3D gel. I wanted to experiment with it. And it's neat. It's kind of like putting glossy accents on it, but you can do it over a stencil. That's on the version I'm not using today, where I use the blue shimmer relief paste. But that is another thing that you can do. So worth checking all those out. Thank you, Mike. All right, now let's go back to the backgrounds I'm going to use. These are the two I'm going to use, and they were made very similar to what I just showed you. I've already got them ready to go. Then let's start making our card. This is going to be a fun inside shadow box. Let's see. Let me think. Mama needs to think. Okay. Okay. I need to get a note card. So for the note card itself, what's on the outside is you don't want to put a lot of paste down your drain or in your sink. I had very little on there. I scraped most of it off. Does the gel dry like paste? Yeah, but clear. Very, very clear. Okay, so to get started, the outside of my note card is going to be white. All right, the first thing we're going to do is take a side folding 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch note card. That's what this is, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And from the back flap, oops, I'm going to cut off 1/2 inch. Oops. So I'm just going to cut 1/2 inch off the back. So you can see the back side of the card is 1/2 inch short. All right, and I'm going to set that aside. All right, next up, you will need a piece of cardstock. This is what you will see when you open the card. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is what you see when you open the card. I will do a little scoring on it. So this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and again, this is the Dewdrop cardstock from Altenew. All right, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. I'm going to do 3 score lines. The first is at 1/2 inch. The next is at 4 1/4. And the next is at 4 3/4. So 1/2 inch, 4 1/4, 4 3/4. And then I'm going to fold along those. Yeah, my nails match my card, don't they? Not intentional, but hey, I could say it is, and you guys would think I've got my act together, but I really don't. Yeah, I usually do top folding. I'm not doing a top fold version of this today, but in one of the video examples I have on my supply list, I do have a top fold version. So basically what you're creating looks like a box from the side, okay? So this is what will happen is, let's see here. It'll be inside, and when you open it, this pops up. Okay, that will pop up. So we're going to create a window there. All right, so that's where we're headed. All right, so on to this. We need to die cut a window, and there are many different things you could use here. You could use any kind of shape you want. On my second card, I'll do an arch. On my third card, I'll do the pond dies. Here I'm just using a circle because most of us have circle dies. And it's up to you how wide it is, or how big your circle is and where you put it. But I'm going to put it like right about centered, and I'm doing it between these 2 score lines. So there's a little flap over here and a big flap over here. That's where you're going to do your window. So I'll run this through my die cut machine. Yeah, I did this, it was like 7 years ago, one of my videos is, and I just haven't done one in a while. And I thought I'd do a fresh take on it. Okay. Get my hair back. I mean business. Okay, so there's a circle. Let me measure this. This circle is about, it's about 3 inches in diameter, but you could do whatever size you want, but it's between those score lines. All right. Yeah, CCMEIN. Yeah, I'm doing another fun fold because I feel like fun folds are things that a lot of you can make with products you have on hand. Sometimes if I do like an inky technique, if you don't have that type of ink, you can't give it a try. But my next live will be a fun inky one. Okay, so there we go. So that is what will be on the inside of our card. Now, I want this, when you look through it, to be something neat. And so that is the second piece that I created. So this one will be on the front, and then there'll be the window on the inside. All right, so let me just start with this. Make sure that size is good. I think I want to trim a little bit off of it. I think I want a little bit more white trim. So I'm going to trim it to be, let's see here. Hold on. I'm just going to trim it to be a little more than 4 1/4, or a little more than 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And that panel will get glued right in the front. So this is just a background that I made earlier with the same stencils. And this is a little bit smaller than, a little bit bigger than 4 by 5 1/4 inches. So basically, I'm ending up with this little white trim around the edge because my card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So that's the front of the card. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do to it just yet. But there you go. Now here's the inside. I do think I'm going to do something fun here. I think I didn't plan this earlier, but I'm thinking about it now. Hold on. I have my acrylic markers here. Mike, you might need to add acrylic markers to the supply list. I don't know if I have them on there. Let me see if this color would be good. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Just to add a little more interest. You don't have to do this. You could always use silver or gold here, or like a sparkle pen. But I thought some of these leaves, I would just take an acrylic marker and do like a little line down them. And I'm doing tone on tone. So I have green inking with the green acrylic marker right on, just to add some detail. You don't have to do this, but some people like to overthink like me. So there we go. There's some. Let's do a few more. Let's do some here. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah. So acrylic markers will show up on color. So I'm just doing green on top of green. If you want this to be more striking, you could do white on top of green, or the silver, as I mentioned, or a gold, but I think that's all I'm going to do. Just to add a little details. Details are always fun. So can you see my green lines there? This is a green, I believe it's from set number 2, which I think is on sale right now. These are great. And they have the white acrylic marker in there that I like so much, that shows up bright on dark colors. So like here's a little scrap of dark, and the white shows up bright on it. The package is here?
Yeah.
Sweet. Good timing. I think I'm going to use it here. Okay. So now I've got the front of my card. Time to do the inside. So let's see here. I'm thinking on this, I want to do some of the bubble. So that around the window are just the bubbles, not everything else. And I only need to ink around the window. So I will put, this is an Altenew center alignment guide. I use these corners a lot to mask. And I'm just going to mask that area. I'm not going to bother masking this flap because it's going to be glued down. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Then this is just the bubble from that same stencil set, but I'm only doing the bubbles. I'm going to skip the rest of it. I'll use the pool ink once again, but I'll go I'll go a little heavier handed in some areas and lighter handed in others, just for a variety. You could do multiple if you wanted to. Oh, yes. Yes, it's
Would have been
here.
funny if it was the old one again.
No, it would not have been. Okay, so I did some like uneven inking there, and now what I'm gonna do, see it's kind of all spaced out, I'm gonna flip it around and do it again. So I just rotated it just to get more bubbles in the background and not be super intentional about where they land. So these stencils you could use on their own too. Let's see how that looks. Perfect. So some little bubbles. If I had the time to let it dry, I'd do the paste over that too. But I don't want to take the time for that to dry. All right, so that's, now the inside will be this with this inside. Okay, so let me put that away. Let's see. I'm thinking on the front, I'm gonna keep when I make these inside shadow box cards, I like to keep the front relatively simple because the jam is all on the inside, right? The zhuzh is all on the inside. So for this one, I'm just gonna put a sentiment on it. I'll show you in a moment. But I thought since this is a deeply grateful, I thought on the inside I could do from the Seahorse, sending you oceans of thanks. So I'm gonna stamp that before I put it together. Now remember, there are 1,000,000,001 ways you could do this. So I'm gonna stamp that right there. And then the recipient, or I'm sorry, the personal message I would write in over here. But before I do that, I'm considering this. Let me see. This is the circle die that I cut my window from. I'm thinking about doing a frame around it in white. So I'm taking this inside circle die is the one I cut my window from, and then I got a circle die that's a little bit wider, a little bit bigger, I guess. And I'm holding them together and running them through my die cut machine. Yeah, they are fun markers. I really like that acrylic markers are making like a comeback. Okay. Yeah, a little frame. I felt like it needed a little pop. Let's see if this is the right size for it. Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna put that on there before I stamp so I can get the centering just right. Glue, I need glue. See? I'm shaky. I'm nervous. Why am I nervous? Oh, that's not good. Why am I nervous? Okay. Hold on just 1 second. Do, 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 do. Okay, so I will take my little window, I put glue on the back of it, and I'll just line it up. And I feel like that kind of goes with the white frame on the front, kind of pulls it into the inside. And now we need to stamp our sentiment here. Now you don't have to put a sentiment on the inside, but I'm going to, because why not? Because I've got it. So I'll open up my card, and I want it to go right about there. And white heat embossing would be really cool, but I'm feeling a little lazy. I think I'm feeling lazy. Yeah, I'm feeling lazy, so I'm just gonna do it in black. Also, if I did it, I don't know, I feel like the black might be a little more subtle. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna do it. I'm really not sure. Yeah, the white frame does help. Okay, so this is from the Graceful Seahorse set. And I'll stamp that with black. Sending an ocean of thanks. That's nice. Okay. My Misty needs a bath. Let me put this all away because I have a lot more to share, and if I don't put things away, I'm doomed. Okay, so let's hope I don't smear that. In fact, I think I will heat set that so I don't smear it. I could have done dark blue, like the dark starlight that I used on the front would be nice here, but I used black. Okay, so now let's start putting this bad boy together. first thing I'm going to do is there's this little flap here. I'll put strong adhesive on here. You can use double-sided tape or strong liquid adhesive. I'm opting for liquid so I can make sure I get it just right. So just on that little flap, I'm going to lay that down so the adhesive is facing up towards the camera, and I'm going to put it right into the nook of the card. So it's getting right into the nook, the crease, the fold, whatever you want to call it. And I'll press that down. So let me just check. Yeah, see how it's sticking out there? So that little flap is glued to right inside here. And I'm going to press that down. I need to make sure that doesn't come undone. How do I bathe my Misty? I use, on my grip mat that's in it, I have a grip mat in here. I use Ultra Clean from Hero Arts. I need more. I thought I bought more. And I use their scrubber and really scrub this. And you can also use that on the door also. So every once in a while I do that when I get to a point where I can't see through it anymore. Hi, Pashta. Oh, hi, Tilly. Tilly Lila, Tilly Lila loved her hand that you put on the order sheet. So thank you, Tilly. Pashta is, Elizabeth is from Pashta Designs, and her daughter Tilly and Lila are little buddies. Okay, so you can see how this is sticking out. Okay, now let's see. I want to just make sure it's all going to work. Hold on. I think I need to trim a little bit off this to make it lay flat. Nope. Yep, I'm going to trim just a hair off this back part that's sticking out. Just a hair. We'll do about a little less than 1/8 of an inch. So now, yes, that did it. So now, on this big flap over here, I'll put glue. So it's along that big flap. And then that gets put in to the crease on the other side. And you close it all up. There we go. So what happens is you get this little pop-up feature. Okay? Isn't that neat? So it is like a little book story shadow box, something on the inside. Now this piece here, I have cut to 3 3/4 inches by a little less than 5.5 because I want that to slide in here. Okay? So you could have anything you want in there. I don't think you want to do a ton of dimension because this is on the inside of the card, but I will be adding some die cuts on here. But this is pretty flat. I think it's perfect. I'll put glue on the back of it, and that just slides right in. It's just a bit smaller than the opening so that I can get it in easily. And just glue that right to the inside. So this is our card so far. Isn't that fun? And those little fishies. Now let's do our sentiment on the front, and then we're gonna figure out what else we're gonna put on the inside because the bundle that I was telling you I really wanted showed up, but I haven't gotten to play with it, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. So let me review. I'm using some new Altenew products, but think about it. You can do anything you want on the front. You can use any shape window and anything you want in there. So don't feel like you have to have this sea theme in order for this kind of thing to work. All right, next. This is that One Go solid sentiment banner die set, okay? So there's the dies, there's the press plates, and there's the stamp. And you can use either of these with the die. You pick and choose what you prefer. If you don't have a better press, just get the stamps. So basically this is one large stamp, you stamp it, and then die cut it. I'm gonna do the better press because I love better press sentiments. I think they are crisper than anything else you can get. So I'm gonna use that today. Is somebody here? Did I hear somebody, Mike? No. Okay. This is the better press system from Spellbinders. It works with the Spellbind. It works with most manual machines. I put it that way. It works with the Intracut. It works with the, oh, not that. It works with the Intracut. It works with the Spellbinders Platinum. It works with the Sizzix Big Shot. I have said a million times how much I love the Better Press. However, what I'm doing right now, if you don't have the Better Press, you could just get the stamp set instead, if you're interested. They have other shape and themes, and they always add more that work with the same die, and I love that. So I like to take a piece of cardstock. You could use Better Press paper, which is thicker and will give you a nice impression. I'm just using regular heavyweight white cardstock, okay? Yes, you can foil this. You can foil these on your glimmer machine. So you'd have foil sentiments. I put a little bit of tape on the back of this. Oh, there's a little booger there. Oh, well. And I will now, I'm going to get my die cut machine ready. All right. Now you can use really any inks you want here, okay? Better Press has inks meant for this. I rarely use them, but they're great because they're small and easy to ink up and designed to do this. I use my fresh dye inks a lot, but any dye ink will work. I do think using a felt pad is best because it's a firm pad, but I have used foam pads and it works just fine. Right now I'm using Altnew Obsidian Black Pigment Ink, which is my favorite black ink to do this with. I've inked it up. Put this on top, it just pops with magnets, and you run it through your die cut machine. If you have never used a Better Press, I have done many videos on Better Press and many videos on different ways to use press plates. The press plates can be used to foil, the press plates can be used to make an impression, and they can be used to do what I'm doing here. So now look at this. Look how perfectly crisp, come on, focus. Perfectly crisp those resulted. Not a flaw in there, okay? So you could instead use the big stamp if you don't want to do press plates, but man, I'd never get a stamped image like that. I would never get that with the stamp. Okay, now we have the die. Let me put my Better Press away. What makes the Better Press? Oh, what makes the Better Press system a must-have tool better than any stamping tool? I'm not saying it's better. It's just another tool, and it's not for everyone. I get that. It's just another tool. Like you have stamping and you have die cutting. Now there are press plates. And again, I like press plates a lot because when you use it with the Better Press system, you're going to get crisp results with one pass, like you just saw me do. Stamping takes a little more work. Also, the Better Press system can give you a little bit of an impression, so you get that texture. Also, press plates can be used with your glimmer machine, and press plates can be used to make an impression. And I'm not going to go through all those right now because I don't have time, but I have done so many videos showing different ways to use press plates. I have a playlist that shows a lot of different videos. So now look at how I have all of these ready to go. And I will be using Deeply Grateful for You on the front of my card. All right. So here we go, Deeply Grateful for You. There we go. I'm not going to take the time to stamp this, but if I stamp this with black ink, you would get a similar result, and then you just line the die up with your stamped image. Oops, like that. All right. It would look similar. It wouldn't look as crisp because press plate tends to do crisper results, but it still would be fantastic. Just like any stamped image is still great. All right. I'll say if a sentiment is available in a press plate or a stamp, I tend to reach for the press plate. All right, let's see. I think I want to matte this on white. Let me see what it was. Yeah, I want to matte this with white. And I'm going to cut off the V's just for I don't know, something different. So I'm cutting the V ends off. You could leave them on. Cut those little V ends off. I like that. And now I'm going to glue that onto a white. Like this. So there's a, make it about the same as my outside. Like that. I need to heat set this. Hang on, I need to heat set this because I don't want to get fingerprints everywhere. This is Altenew Obsidian black ink, which is what I used here. What I always use pretty much for my black sentiment is a quick drying pigment ink. So sometimes you can get fingerprints if you're not careful. Yeah, the better press, once you use it, it is addictive. Okay, let's see. The heat kind of loosened up my glue, but it'll be fine. It'll cool down. Okay, there we go. I like that for a simple look at the front. And I'll go ahead and put the foam tape behind it. Might as well while I'm here. I don't usually use foam tape on the back, but since this is already 2 layers thick, I don't think it'll get too squished in the mail. And this can go anywhere, but I think I'm going to put it right up at the center because the circle's in the inside at the top center. All right, so let's just put that right top center. I don't want to cover up any cute fish. There we go. Simple on the front. I always do simple on the front with these. At least I try. Okay, now on the inside, there are a few different things I could do. One is I showed you before this Zero Waste Beneath the Blue die set. It's a big die, and you can use the negative space or the positive pieces and assemble your own scene. So negative space, positive pieces as a scene. Well, what I did off screen, if I can find it, is I made a jellyfish. Okay, so see the big jellyfish here? I cut him from, let's see, I cut him from sea glass cardstock, and then I did inking on top. And I did the same blues, and I added a little bit of a purple too. Once I did that inking, I used my finger, dipped it in that iridescent glitter paste I showed you earlier, and spread it over the top. So I will have a sparkly jellyfish. All right. I thought that was kind of fun. Yes, you can use a better press with the Sizzix. And I was thinking it would kind of float across here. So that's one option I have. Okay, so you would have this kind of floating jellyfish. Now, what just came in the mail, I think I might switch to, because this, I wasn't sure if it would get here in time. This is what I really wanted to use this whole live. This is the Coral Reef Wonders bundle. Now this is a Craft Your Life project kit. It comes as a bundle. You can't buy these separately. And look at it, it's in one of those sleeves. So all the products are in the sleeves. In here we have the Coral Reef Wonders layering die set. And I'm thinking about one of these bright fish. I'm thinking about maybe this bright yellow, making a bright yellow fish to put in there. You can see that, let me get this out of here. You can see that there is a layering guide. This is a keyhole set. No, it's not. It's not keyhole. It doesn't need to be. But it does tell you, let's see if I can show you. Come on, focus. See, this says A2 black, A2 white. That means this fish right here, the layers for this fish are those. So it tells you even what color. They used vellum too. That's cool. So these are all to make all of those. Yeah, that turtle is super cute. And he's a good size too. He's a good size turtle. Oh, this is the actual size of the die cuts. So I'm thinking about adding one of those to the inside of my window. What I think would be good is have some seaweed kind of float up and then have a little yellow fish up here. So I'll show you that in a moment. So that is in this die set. I love how they tell you exactly what to do. Then there is this stamp set, which has like the whale and the stingray and the scuba diver. This would look really cool inside of that window. That's what I was originally going to do, was stamp that inside of the window. Then you can stamp and cut out a little whale if you wanted to. Let me show you. So you have a different feel if you use the whale. See the whale done? Here, there's the whale. I'm going to show you the stencils to create that. But a lot of different options here. Okay, now this is what also just knocked my socks off, and I don't know if I'll have time to play with it today or not. I don't think I will. This is the Coral Reef Wonders. This is amazing. It's an embossing folder, and they have the stencils too. So these stencils, the stencils included in this bundle are used for a few different things. First of all, you have, not that, these stencils color this raised coral image. So you do the embossing folder, and then these line up to add color to that. Okay, so you get a look like this with dimension. All right, there's another one there. You can see it in detail there. All right, isn't that cool? You can use the embossing folder or skip it, up to you. Then there are stencils. See these? Let me show you. These stencils here create this effect and the rocks. So you could do this kind of look. And then there are these stencils that can be used to create like this water. So a lot of different looks in one bundle. And that's why I got really excited about it. But I don't think I'm going to assemble it right now because I don't want to run out of time. I might have to save one of my cards for later. I don't think I'm going to add the fish now, but I'll tell you what I would do. So I've got these, oops, wrong side. These little die cuts here were created using the Zero Waste set that I showed you. I'm going to put glue on the front of these, and then I'll take them and I'll put them in. Let's separate them. I'm going to put one up here. No, I want this one. Front. I put this one like that. So it's kind of inside and outside. See, I glued it to the back side of the circle window. And then I'll take this one, I'll put it, let's do it right here, like that. So see how it's kind of floating there? And then I think I will off-screen die cut and layer a yellow fish and have it floating right here. So basically I would assemble this, put just like a little bit of yellow, or a little bit of glue behind his nose, and his nose would go like right here, so it'd be floating right there. All right? Isn't that fun? Yeah, you know what? I should do a video just of this set. Now that I have it, I should. I think I might. You know what I will do is I can do a live next week where I finish my little yellow guy and put him in here. And then I'll show you using these embossing folders and stencil, because really this would look really cool if you took a small circle window and you could have that be around it, or a big circle window, have that be inside of it. A lot of things that you could do with this. So I think I might do that. This is the Coral Reef Wonders, and it's a bundle, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to prep with it, but I just got it. But so far, this card's really fun. One thing I think I will do, I feel like those seaweed get a little lost there. So I think I'll go in and make these really dark and then add the yellow fish, and that would pop more. Okay, so see how it flattens to go in an envelope, and then the inside pops up when you open it automatically. Isn't that fun? Very easy. Yeah, I'll do a video with that. But I'm hoping that the rest of this makes sense for now. because I have other things I want to show you. And I'm moving very slow. Okay, let's do non-fish for the next one and see how this goes. Now on this one, I'm using the forget-me-nots. I've prepped everything, so it'll hopefully not take as long. On this one, I will do the same size card, but instead of just this one layer popping up, there'll be another layer in between. So you get kind of like a tunnel look, all right? And instead of the fish, I'm going to be doing forget-me-nots. So let's do our card base first, the pop-up card base. Once again, I'm starting with a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch white note card. And from the back edge, I will cut off a 1/2 inch. Do you know if Lila's up yet?
She's not.
She's not. Is Mallory here?
No.
Okay. All right, so see how the back is just a little short. So that's gonna be the front of our card. Now the inside of our card, I think I want to be white also.
Why bother with the text at this point?
No. We can send a text later telling people they can watch the replay. I don't want to text people early.
Yeah, then it's too late.
It's okay.
I'm afraid of doing it.
Okay, so this is, like I did before, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. We're doing the same thing we did before. Scoring at a 1/2 inch, scoring at 4 1/2 inches, and 4 3/4 inches. So these pieces are exactly like before. All right? Exactly like before, and we're gonna fold along those score lines. So now I have my box and my card. So I need to create a window here. And I think this time, instead of circles, I'll use their nesting arch die set. The technique that I'm doing now, you just need 2 dies, one bigger than the other. All right? I'm gonna start with the bigger one first, and I will cut it right centered between those first 2 score lines, just like before. I'll hold it up here in a moment. So you could do a big circle and a smaller circle here. You could do a rectangle. I just thought the arch would be fun. We'll see. Okay, so see how it's right between that score line and that score line, centered. To sign up for texts, Mike will put a link in the chat. It's also in the description below. But I send out a text right before I go live. I don't usually go live in the morning, so I thought this was way too early to send a message, so I didn't send one today. It doesn't work. I don't think it works overseas yet. I don't think they have a system for that yet. Does it, Mike?
They added some countries. I just have to go through and register and fill out the right forms.
Oh, we have to do some forms and stuff. But someday we'll do that.
I added a couple countries, but some are more work than others.
Some countries can be added, some can't. And some we have to go through some hoops, and we work on them as we can. Okay, so there is the window there. Now, before, I'm gonna keep that one out. Before I glue this inside, I want another layer in here that pops up a little bit. All right, so I have this is different than the first card. So far, everything I've done is the same as the first card. Now I'm adding, this piece gets added. So this piece here is, let me get my notes out because I don't want to lie to you. Where are my notes? Oh, well. Okay, I'll tell you. This is a little bit smaller, hair smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. We're talking just a sliver. I'll show you how much I cut off. I cut about this much off. Let me start with a new piece. So this panel here is, this piece right here is 4 1/2 or 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panel here. I'm going to cut just a little bit off the side and a little bit off the bottom. So it's just a hair smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. All right, so that's what I have here. Now I'll put that into my scoreboard and I'll score a 1/4 inch from this edge and a 1/4 inch from this edge. And then I'll fold along those little flaps. Okay. So you have this little piece here with these little, it looks like a really flat table. See those little flaps there? Now I need to die cut something at the center of that. So on this one, I used the bigger arch. The center of this one, I'm going to flatten it down. I will use the smaller arch. So I'm just going to take this and line this up over it. And I'm lining up my score lines. So it's just held right behind it. You can see it's kind of held right behind it. And I'll take my smaller arch. It doesn't have to be perfect. Take my smaller arch, place it right there. So but really, if I just center this smaller arch, it'll be centered with that bigger arch. Let's see. Okay. Get it over a little bit. It doesn't look super centered. There we go. So that is kind of centered between those score lines. I'll run that through my die cut machine. Now, what I'm doing now, oh, thank you, Melinda. What I'm doing now is, you could do with the ocean stuff for sure, but I wanted to do a non-ocean card also. Oops, I tore my paper a little. I've never done that with that tape, but I can fix that later. Okay. I'm not frazzled this early in the morning. Kind of weird. Okay, so now this will end up being behind that. Okay, it'll pop up together. Now I have an older set. In fact, Mike, I think you're gonna have to add this to the supply list. I don't think I put it. This is an older set. It is another one of the Craft Your Life project bundles, so all this comes together. There's a stamp set, coordinating dies. There are stencils, and it works really nice with this nesting set I'm using. Coloring stencils, an embossing folder. And this can be used in a lot of different ways. I'm just using one of the sentiments. I'm just going to show you this. I know a lot of people bought this, but what I like are these arch sentiments that go nicely around a circle or the top of an arch. So I took this one that says, "Thinking of you today, my friend," and I'm going to heat emboss that on the top of my arch. This is the the Garden Gala. Maybe I had it linked. The Garden Gala. And I will do white heat embossing right at the top here. Make sure my glue is, and the tape isn't there. Okay. So right along this arch up here, I'm going to do some white heat embossing. I did my anti-static powder. There's like a little something there. Hang on. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'll do my anti-static. Let's hope this works. I'm kind of a little off today. Okay, I'm going to put the arch right along the top. Sorry.
It was already there.
It was already there? Okay. Garden Gala is the sentiment. And I will white heat emboss. Another thing you can do with these inside, I'm not putting acetate behind the windows, but you really could do acetate. So when you open it up, it's like a window, and you can glue things on the window. Like for example, I could glue acetate to the back of this window, and then it'll be something for my fish to sit on. But we'll have to see about that, because I can't do that today, because I just got the set. But I will come back and do a live with that for sure. Hopefully they won't sell out of it. All right, so I did my little sentiment there with embossing ink. I have a feeling this might be messy, but we're going to go with it. I have white embossing powder that I'll shake on. Now I know I'm going to have a little powder where I don't want it because I wasn't super careful, but it's going to be good enough. I'm just using a craft knife to like knock off some of the extra powder, just scrape it out of the way. All right, I'll get my heat gun heated up here. Yeah, you could also take a long sentiment of your own and mount it in your stamping tool at a bit of an arch. I just like that these are already at the arch, but you can also use them along circles too. There we go. Good enough. And then let that cool for a moment. Get some of these things out of the way. Okay, so now to remove the powder, because I went overboard with the powder, I use an eraser. This is an Altenew. This might be their prep, I don't know what it is, but an eraser will remove powder tool, or your anti-static powder. So there we go. So now this is going to come up back here, like that. Okay, so not sure how I'm going to do this, like what I'm going to do with the flowers, but I'm going to put the card together and then we can add the flowers. Okay, so I have, let's start putting this together. I have my card base here. Remember the back side has a 1/2 inch cut off of it. Now just like the last card, I'm going to put glue along that little flap. See the glue along the little flap? See it there? And put that right into the nook of my card, right into the crease, and flatten it down. Everything is hanging out. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like on the inside. Okay. Now I'm going to take this, open it up, and flip it over. And I need to add this one. And I'll show you how I do it. I'm going to start with this left-hand little flap. Yeah, this blue is the, let's see, I'm shaking, ultramarine cardstock from Altenew, one of my favorites. Now I put liquid adhesive on that little flap. Now see, this is the back side of the white flap that we just glued in. See that white flap? That's the back side of the white flap. I'm going to glue that down onto that flap. And it doesn't matter if it, like, I'm doing about halfway, I would say. I'll hold it up in a moment so you can see. Just want to get it pressed down. So let me show you. So see how that is now sticking out there. All right, see that? This is all going to flop over in a moment, okay? So you can see it. And I have a video, my second video in the YouTube description below shows this more if you want to see more. This is Altenew. Yeah, this is Altenew Aquamarine, or Ultramarine, sorry. Where is the, here it is. This is the Ultramarine here. I'm sorry, this is, sorry, I'm using Azurite. They're somewhat similar. Ultramarine and Azurite, so I'm using Azurite here. Okay, so now these are just kind of floating out here, like that. All right, so now I'm gonna take, I've just got it all open and laying flat. I have this other flap here, I'll put liquid adhesive on. See how there's liquid adhesive on that little flap? And I'm just gonna flip it down. Wait, no, that's not right. No, I'm gonna flip it this way. Sorry. Liquid adhesive on the flap, and I'll lay this down onto it. Make sure it's working. Yep, I'll lay that down. It'll look off center here. When it pops up, it won't be. Okay, see? So I put liquid adhesive on that flap facing up, and then I fold that down onto it. Then the last thing is to glue this into our card. Like last time, I'm gonna cut about 1/8 of an inch off that flap sticking out. And now this I'll put glue on the back of and put it into the card, right into that crease, and close everything up. Just tuck it in there. It's just like we did before, but there's that extra layer in there. So now see how it pops up and you have that tunnel effect because you have that layer and this layer. See it from the top? So same thing as before, except that blue piece is added in there. And I love how it kind of moves. Okay, so there you go. Then for the front of the card, oh, and then I also am going to put, a blue piece in there so there's more blue because I just can't get enough of the blue. And we'll put blue on the front. So let's do this. I think I'm going to use a press plate on what goes in the inside there and on the front. Okay, and by the way, I've done more videos with this extra layer in it that might be easier to follow, and that's in my description below. Okay, I have a press plate that's been out for a while, and I love it. It's called Making Moments, and it's a script, and it's a big one, so it can be used on bigger cards. This is a press plate. You can make an impression with this using an embossing mat, and I've done many videos with that. Or you can foil with it, or you can do what I'm about to do, which is use it with your better press machine. So let's first do the piece that will go on the front of our card. So this is cut to be, oh, I haven't trimmed it yet. Right now it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I'll trim it down in a moment. I'll put a little bit of tape runner on the back so that I can glue it right onto the center of my clear platform. And I'm doing the better press pretty quickly because I've done many videos showing it. Now I can ink this up with a variety of things. I could do like a gold pigment ink. I could do white. I could do darker blue. I think I'm going to do white, but not a ton of white, just a little bit. So it's just somewhat subtle. It won't be perfectly even because I'm doing that intentionally. And I think my white pigment ink is pretty dry. Oh yeah. So that might be, let me get, my cloud white is dry. Let me see if I've got another one. Here we go. I think this, my Gina K white pigment ink is not as dry. Yeah, this should be good. Okay, so this is just white pigment ink, and I'm gonna tap it lightly. Now this is a foam pad. If I tap it too hard, it's gonna go into the background. I just went on the raised area, so I kind of tap and twist, and I'm intentionally not going super even. I don't want it to be solid white. I just want soft white. Yeah, you could use Lisa Horton metallic ink here. Totally up to you. This will just put some interest on the background. Oh, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with a smaller piece that goes on the inside. This is about 3 3/4 by a little less than 5 1/2. 3 3/4 by a little less than 5 1/2. Just like the piece I put on the inside of my card last time. All right, let's put that down. Just did a little bit of white pigment ink. If you want crisp results, I don't recommend, with the Better Press, I usually don't recommend a pigment ink. You won't get as crisp of results, but you get good results. I mean, you can see that's good. But if you want it to be super crisp, go with a dye ink. The only exception to that is the Altenew Black Obsidian pigment ink that I showed you earlier. That is a fine detail pigment ink. And so that's going to go crisp. But most metallic pigment inks and white pigment inks won't be super crisp. Okay, so this will get glued in there. That's cool. I'll go ahead and do that now. I'll put some glue on the back. Again, this is 3 3/4 by a little less than 5 1/2. And I'll slide it in there and glue it to the back. So now we got all those layers. So see, that's glued right into the back of the card. Flattens, pops up, flattens, pops up. And if you wanted that pop-up layer to stand out even more, you could have done it in a different color. Now this one's gonna go on the front, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do from here, but we can talk about it. So I will cut, I'm gonna cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And that goes right on the front. I could do an arch on the front too, but I think I'm just gonna put this down. Okay, so there we go. See how that's working? Isn't that fun? Yeah, this is a great press plate. But if you don't have press plate, do a background stamp here. You could do an embossing folder. Lots of different things you could do here. I'm just looking, making sure nobody's, okay. There we go. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I probably should get, I'm good, don't worry. Now, I'm using the forget-me-not. And I'll tell you what I did off screen. I assembled a bunch of forget-me-nots. I cut these from Tide Pool. Yes. I cut all of my petals from Tide Pool. And I did a little bit of inking at the center with ultramarine. Not much. And then I glued them together. So I have all my little forget-me-nots. So there are dies here that do the different parts. There are keyholes to show you how to layer it together. Really, you just follow the instructions or just wing it, and they're really fun to put together. I will tell you exactly what I did on mine. So, on mine, I die cut the flower petals, the 2 flower petal layers from Tide Pool. I did a little bit of inking at the center with aquamarine, but not much. Then the star-looking piece, it's hard to tell in the video, the star-looking piece is cut from Moonstone Glitter cardstock. It's a white glitter cardstock from Altenew. Then I did the center in gold cardstock and navy cardstock. All right, so I just made a bunch of them, more than I need to put on the front and the inside of the card, but then they'll be ready to go. I think I'm gonna start with the inside, okay? You can follow along. It has all these little keyhole bits that you can use. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wing it. I think I will do, let's see. I think I'm gonna have it, I don't want all of this. That's way too much. I think I'm gonna take this one and have, hold on. See, I gotta overthink a little bit. I think I'll do like, I think I'm gonna do this one just right down the center with some leaves. That's what I'll do, right down the center with some leaves. But he's gonna be kind of floppy there. So I'll do the trick that I told you, where you just put a piece of acetate in there and then it gives you something for your images to kind of float on. So I'm gonna cut a piece of acetate. Let's see, I'll cut this to be about 3 by 5. Scrap acetate packaging would be great for this. I have some Pink Fresh heat resistant acetate. I just have a bunch of it cut, so that's what I grabbed because it's quick. Then I will put adhesive along the left, bottom, right, and top edges. So the adhesive is on the edges facing up. It's hard to see. And I'm going to put that behind my thinking of you today, that middle layer. You don't have to do this, but now my flower has that acetate to lay on, to glue on. So I have my forget-me-not stem here. I'm gonna have that go right down the center, like there. Kind of off a little bit. So see, it is on that middle layer. And now I can glue my little forget-me-nots. And you can make them in a certain way. You can follow their example. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna have them, you know, here and there. Oh, those are so cute. I'm using liquid adhesive. Let's talk about liquid adhesive. Liquid adhesive is going to take you some time to dry on the acetate. It will dry, but it's going to take some time. So if you don't want to wait, you might want to use like a tape runner or double-sided tape for this, but I will wait. There we go, like that. See how it's glued to the acetate. I think this one, I'm just going to do one big flower up there. I have a lot of these. I can make more than one card. I'll put 2 up here. There are little like buds you can do, but I'm not doing them. let's see, this one, I'll put more adhesive. Yeah, the moonstone is great. This sentiment is from the Garden Gala. It's a product, it's like a bundle. Oops. It's like a product bundle, but it's fantastic. So I'm just kind of putting these around. There are better ways to go about doing this, but this is what I'm going to go with. Let me press those down. Remember, it's liquid adhesive, so it's going to move. I also have some of the leaves, and I did a little bit of inking to them. Just a bit. So this I'll put tape right on the back of and tuck in here. Let's put that one kind of going off like that. Oh, that's so pretty. And then let's do, oh, there's a tiny one here. Oh, there are lots of leaves. So all of these leaves I cut from reindeer moss cardstock, and I did a little inking with moss ink. That. Oh yeah. I love this. Okay. So there we go. Look at that. So that all pops up. Isn't that pretty? Let me close it and cut the excess off the bottom. Yeah, the blues are pretty. So this is Tide Pool Flowers on azurite, like the card, what I used on the card itself is azurite. My next card, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to. This live's been pretty long. My next card uses different shades of blue, and I'll show you what I was going to do on it. Might have to be in the next video. There we go. So now I have leftover pieces that I can use on the front. So I think on this, I might do it kind of floating there in the middle instead of coming from the bottom. I could do the full size one, but I don't want to have that much on the front. And I'll cover up some of these with one flower. So I think I'll put it like that. And now put flowers down. Make sure they're not moving on the inside. Now, remember, this has a keyhole system, and I could follow exactly where these should go to get that picture. I'm going quick and easy instead, because I don't want to take up too much time. And I also, again, I don't want it to be too overwhelming on the front when the inside has so much interest to it. So there we go. Let's do that. And now I'll put one down here. One of the smaller ones. Here we go. And then we'll add some leaves in. Like right there. Now keep in mind also, oops, wrong way. Also that you can get lots of ideas on how to arrange these over on the website. Here's a couple. Oh, that looks like mine. Very similar. So you can get a lot of different ideas on the website if you're looking for more. I don't know. I think I might play with this off screen some, but I don't want to waste your time right now. Actually, let's do this. Let's lift this guy up. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you just want to change things up. Let me take this one off. Have this kind of come up like that. Oh, yeah. Then I'll put that one back on. There we go. Like that. And then I need one more right here. I'll do this one. And then a sentiment. Look at, I've got so many ready to go. Could do a little banner. I think I want, sorry, my head's in the way. I have to overthink. Oh, look at this. Thinking of you always. Wishing you a great day might be fun here. there. Yeah, I want it there, but I want it to have some dimension. So I'm just gonna take my others and glue it behind it, just so it has dimension. I'm feeling a little too lazy to add foam tape. So I'm gonna just put glue on the back of that. Glue it down there. And yeah, I'll skip that flower. I think this looks good. This does need some little gems here and there for sure. Look at that. That's fun. And now it opens up. Thinking of you today, my friend. Wishing you a great day. Yeah, Forget-Me-Not is a great flower. And you could do them in other colors. In fact, I've already started making more in other colors. They don't have to be blue. But these are some other Altenew colors. This is Glacier Iris. This is the Ultramarine Tide Blue. And what is this one called? It's one of my other most used colors, but Cosmic Berry? Purple Wine, Purple Wine. So I've got more ready to go. And there's my little moonstone centers. So there we go. And then I will probably just add some little gold gems here and there onto it. I might do more leaves down here, I'm not sure. See how you got the glitter on the center of the flowers and it pops up. Isn't that fun? So on the first one, only the top popped up. This one has that middle layer too. All right, how's everybody doing? Where will I write my message? Right here. That's where I'll write my messages, right there. So it's on display. You know, this is what you could see. Personal message would be off to the side, for sure. Always got to have a place for your message. Definitely, definitely. For my favorite white cardstock, Brienne, can you put the Neenah Classic Crush Solar White in the chat? I don't think it's in the description below because I ran out of time. Or I ran out of space. All right, so we have two of these kind of pop-up shadow box cards. One has the one layer that pops up. This one has two. And variety of products there, just so that you can see that you can use what you got too. Hold on here just a second. Oh man, okay. My friends who are flying here, a bunch of their flights are delayed. That stinks. Yeah, the Altenew Lily of the Valley would work great on there too. Really, any of them. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my next one, but I'll probably keep it very simple. I'm gonna start with the Seahorse because I think he's so stinking cute. And I haven't assembled him yet, and I want to see how cute he is assembled in real life. Let's see here. So this is a keyhole set that's super easy. And I'll show you how the keyhole works. Let me get all the pieces out. There's instructions in here on just how to put it together. I started with, I'm still learning all my Altenew colors of cardstock. I think it was, I started with whatever this is in the middle here. Hang on. No, I think it's Honey Drizzle. Yeah, I started with Honey Drizzle cardstock. And I did a little bit of inking. I did inking with a little bit of orange, this Autumn Blaze, and then a little bit of red on the edge, which is Heartbeat. Okay, those are Altenew colors. I just did shading, basic shading. I really kind of followed the instructions on the inside, like how they did their shading. Now, if you look right here, there is a little like T shape. And up here, you have an arrow shape. So according to the instructions, this little fin, it has a T shape. So I line up this T shape with that T shape, and I know it's in the right position. So I'll put a little glue around that T-shaped hole and put this one on top. And if I can see through that hole, still see that T shape, I know I have it in the right position. Then up here, there's an arrow. I'll put a little liquid adhesive around the arrow. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. This has an arrow on it. I line up the arrow holes, and now I know I have that in the right place. Now the last 2 layers cover up the holes and add details. So here I have the head, and this I just can line up the outside shape. I will put a little black for the eye, I think. And that covers up adds details and covers up the keyhole. And this one, oh, I was supposed to put this one down first. Hold please. This one has an arrow. So I'll put glue along the back of this. Doing this very quickly, sorry. Glue around the back. There's an arrow hole up here, arrow hole again there, and I line that up. So Altenew has this keyhole die system, which allows you to not have to think about what lines up, which is especially helpful for flowers, but here, you know you'll get it just right because you're just lining them up. So now our keyholes are covered and it's layered perfectly. I think I will put a little black gem for an eye. A little Google eye would be kind of funny, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use a little black gem. Isn't that cute? And there are a bunch of examples of different colors of Seahorse over on their website. I'm going to go with a little black gem right here. Let's see if this size is good or if that's too big. No, I think I like that. There we go. I'll hold it up so you can see. Look at the detail in that. Isn't he the cutest? He needs a name. Look at that. Oh. Okay, so that is the Graceful Seahorse. And remember, it is a die set and a stamp set that come together. He looks good on this dark blue, doesn't he? Oh my gosh. The spiny part, yes, the spiny details add all, so good. And this really will work nicely with the bundle that I'm going to use in an upcoming video. See how he could be used with all the little fish? All right, so you could have a lot. In fact, this, he would look cute in here too. Oh! That's what I want there. That's what I want there. Isn't that cute? That's what I want there. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right up here. That's what I want there. I don't want to make that yellow fish later. I'm going to put him right there. That is made for that. Oh, I moved his eyeball though. Fix his eyeball later. Look at that. Jeremy. Look at Jeremy. This just needs to be darker. These, I'm going to take these out. Doing surgery. Instead of the third card, this is what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I was going to do in my third card and I'll put it in the next video. I have, these are the seaweed from the Zero. These are a bit darker. See how I made these darker. I can go even darker. You know what I'll do? I'm going to take a little black ink and put a bit of black shading on it. That's a great way to make something darker. See, I'm just going to do a little black shading on there instead of going through different colors of green. But I left the tips really bright. So this started as green cardstock. This was lime, Altnew lime cardstock, and I did some green blending and then I did black on the bottom. I think that's going to go right there. Yep, that's it. That's what I'm doing. Right, Mike?
Yep.
Mike's so happy.
Yes.
So this is going to get tucked in here like this. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to glue this part right here. I'm going to glue some of the petals on the front of the window. These are the details that I go overboard with. Now this one I'm going to glue right there. You gotta stay there. I should, you know what? I should double this up, but I'm not going to. Hold on. Okay, this that I'm doing now, I probably should have done earlier before I put my card together, but you know, live and learn. I'll show you, hold on. There we go. See how that, see it? And if I wanted to, I could put the acetate in there. Oh, but isn't he cute in there? I do need to put his black eye back on. So let's put his black eye right back on. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Ah! He was just what was needed there, wasn't he? There we go. Yeah, I like the seahorse there too. And you could put that acetate in there, but I think I'm just going to leave him floating. Isn't that fun? He's just a great pop of color on the inside. So that's the Graceful Seahorse. Now let me show you. I'll tell you, I have a 5x7, but there's no way I'm going to be able to do it today. Yeah, it's too late. But I will do another live where I do a 5x7 version and I incorporate this Coral Reef Wonders. For this one, what I was going to do is when you open it, the windows that like the two tiers, I was going to create with these pond dies so it gets deeper in the inside. And I was going to put the seahorse in that, but now my seahorse is on this one. So I'll do the 5x7 version in my next video where I use some of this Coral Reef Wonders. Jeremy is cute, isn't he? So stay tuned for that. Mike, this Coral Reef Wonders, you had some images because I knew I wasn't going to be able to play with it today. You had some images that Altenew had sent me of some examples. This is the Coral Reef bundle that, remember, had the fish dies, the stamp set, the embossing folder, and the stencils that work together. Mike, can you show some of the examples? Okay, so this uses the turtle from the Coral Reef Wonders bundle and the ocean window die set that I was just talking about in the background. And these are all from Altenew. They gave me these images to share, and you can see the name of who made the card on the bottom of the image. All right, next up. Oh, I love this one. So this one uses those same ocean window dies, and look at the fish. So that fish is all from the Coral Reef Wonders bundle. Next up. Those fish are so cute. There, that also. Coral Reef. This one actually uses the fish are from the Coral Reef Wonders die set. The background is Ocean Windows die set. And then I think some of that seaweed is from that Zero Waste die I showed you earlier. This one, okay, this is amazing. This is the card that I really wanted to be able to make today. This uses all Coral Reef Wonders bundle. The embossing folder does all that coral in the background, and then the stencils color it. So all of that coral you see behind Mr. Turtle is textured. And then you've got the turtle in the center, and it says, what's it say? What are you been up to? Mike loves puns. All right, what's the next one? There. Oh, I wish you could see. Can you kind of see the texture on this one by Michelle? So the embossing folder, stenciling to create that texture in the background. And then the only die cut thing there is that turtle. All that coral is in the background. Isn't that stunning? That's what I really wanted to use. So I'll have to use this in a live, hopefully next week, maybe the week after. But in the next couple weeks I will. All right, another one? Or is that it?
That's it.
Okay. All right, so that's the Coral Reef bundle, which I didn't get to use. I think what I'll do is use this bundle in a live to show a 5x7 version of this type of card, and something else, okay? Okay. Some of the sentiments in here, like well done, you make life fantastic, wishing you a turtly awesome birthday, you make my heart splash with joy. Mike is loving this. You're turtly amazing. What are you up to? Making waves and catching dreams, go you. See you soon. See you soon. Anyway, so there we have it. I was hoping to do the 3, but 2 isn't bad. Yeah, I need to look. Let me see what my schedule is so I can get an idea. I don't want to. I will say in the meantime, I have 2 videos up in my supply list below that are older videos that are the same technique I'm using today. I might be able to do next week. I might be able to do, it'll either be Monday the 8th or Tuesday the 16th. I will let you all know. I will let you know. I'll send out an email about it, but I can use that Coral Wonders bundle because it's so good. There we go. So these flatten to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and they pop up. All right, so giveaway. Let's do $50 to Altenew. Let's do a $50 gift card to Altenew. I might end up changing this to be white with black letters or light blue with white letters. Anyway, the 5x7, Victoria, I'll tell you. For those who want to know this now, I'm just going to tell you quickly. You do a 5x7 card, cut 3/4 of an inch off the right-hand side. And then the pop-up piece is 10 by 5. And you do a score at 3/4 of an inch, 5 inches, and 5 3/4. I'll do that all in my next live, but Victoria wanted to get started on it. How do I keep track of all my sentiments? You can catalog them. There are also apps that you could do for it. I'm just a freak. I can't remember if my kid was fed today, but I can remember where all my sentiments are. I don't know why. I have found, somebody asked if the Altenew paste dry quickly. Now, they haven't been out that long, so I can't say for years, but I've had mine for months and I use them often and it's always the same consistency. Maybe if Altenew's here, they would have an idea of how long the life expectancy is, but I will say they aren't as thick as a lot of the pastes I've used in the past that have glitter in them, so I think it'll probably last a while, but I don't know. I mean, the glitter paste is new to me. Okay. There we go. Oh, sorry. Yes, the height of that is 7 inches. So you start with 7 by 10. Sorry, that piece was 7 by 10 and you score it 3/4, 5, and 5 3/4. Thank you, sorry. Okay, there is an app called Must Stash that you can keep track of things in. I can talk about it in another live. Yes, Lizzie remembers thread colors, me too. All right, there we go. Like the background of this is 964. So there we can see the glittery bubbles. Oh, I don't know that you can see the glittery, but it's so good in real life. And it pops open to our seahorse. I could put a little glitter on our seahorse too. Oh, I love it. And it looks like it's kind of swimming as you open it. Then this one has the press plate in the background, the forget-me-nots, and it pops up to give you all that texture. There you go. Okay. Mike, do you have winners of a gift card? Winner of a gift card?
Oh, yes, I do. Let's see. I've got my mic on.
Oh, Mike has to get his mic.
Okay.
All right. Also, don't forget to look in the YouTube description below for information on the Cozy Comfort Retreat that's coming, Cozy Comfort Retreat that's coming in the fall. I'd love to see some of you there. I'll be teaching in it. And you can save quite a good amount if you use my code that's in the description. And then remember, I also have 50% off the pockets, like you just saw that this bundle came in. All right, what you got, Mike? Who's the winner of a $50 gift card?
The winner is Louise Sutherland.
Louise Sutherland. Louise, go over to my website, contact me, and send us your address. Brianne said, Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yeah. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Good.
I pinned the message so you can see if your tag is the one.
Wonderful. Brianne and Mike like to banter. Brother and sister. All right. I think that's it for today. Sorry I was a little frenzied. I don't know what it is.
You got your friends coming in town.
Maybe I'm just excited, overwhelmed. I don't know. So I apologize for that. But I think we got 2 pretty involved cards completed and plans for another live. I'm really excited. I am so excited to use that Coral Reef Wonders, that embossing folder and stencils. That's brilliant. But the measurements that I did for these, you can use any shape window on the inside. You can use any products with it. It's just a nice, simple, fun fold that's just interest to add to a card. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. Remember, everything's in my YouTube description below, and I won't be going live the rest of the week because I have some friends coming in town, and but next week I will be. So I think that's it. You can sign up for text to find out when the next live is, but also join the Share Handmade Kindness Facebook group because I always let people know there first. That's the first place I let people know when my lives are. You can also subscribe to my channel, but that doesn't always work for notifications. But I do always send a text a half hour before I go live, unless it's early in the morning like today, which I don't think will happen very often. Usually 3 o'clock is the time I like. All right, thank you for being here, and I will see you again for live next week. Bye-bye.